Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. We are in Amrutanubhava, chapter 6, Shabda Khandana, the devaluation of the word. To devalue the word, we have to understand two things. How it is important first, or how it is useful. This is the first case. And the second case is how it is not useful. Only then we will be able to devalue it. If you only take useful, then it will not lead to anything. We have to understand both. And that's what Jnaneshwar Maharaj is presenting the case in the court of all the seekers. This is the way you have to think. This is the value or devaluation of the word. Do it in this manner. And if you think that what I have expressed from my direct experience, then you follow it, you assess it in your life, you contemplate on it, you find your own, through your own assessment, through your own practices, as he has been saying from various chapters, the whole thought that is being presented, you apply it on in your life, and then see if this conclusion is coming or not. Because this conclusion is not exclusively of Jnaneshwar Maharaj. It is of all the saints and sages. So it is not how they are right or wrong. It is how we can come to be in that disposition from where they are making these statements. He is using the words and he is beyond the words. Can we get to that point? Is it so? For that, continuous awareness, alertness is required in our daily moment-to-moment living. Nothing should go without our scrutiny. Is it taking us into the world? Is it taking us back? This is very general in the beginning cases. Now, is this word taking me to this thought? Is it taking me to the self, or is it taking me back to the world? Further, oh, the thought is coming and going, so it is not important. That's one way. Yeah, but I understand it is not important, but the thoughts are not stopping in my mind. Vaikari madhyama pashyanti para, then practice. Just thinking and intellectualizing and logicalizing, it will not lead to a conclusion. See? In the 12th verse he said, Kim bahuna shabdu smaranadani prasiddhu pariyayahi sambandhu nahi yathe. Although the word is popular as a reminder in the worldly things, it has no entry in the domain of self-knowledge. Self-knowledge is abiding in the self as the self without the crutch of the world, the senses, the body, the mind, the intellect. In other words, without the crutches of thoughts. Self is self-illuminating. So you are self-illuminating is equal to what? If you are the, not if, you are the Atman and it is self-illuminating. You know you are even if there are no thoughts. Now assess, is that your is that your conclusion about yourself? And sometimes it helps when we are in our mind, guru, 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 other thoughts come, this thought come, that thought comes, and we are not able to fixate uh, and remain with a particular stream of contemplation for a long period of time to completely bring about the assessment. Because our mind is not in our control. Then what do? Take a pen and paper, write down. And email it to me. Eventually, I'll make a book out of that. Usha and Ravi, Contemplations. Nagaraj Contemplations. Devotees Contemplations. Yes, that's good. Why name? A seeker's contemplations, daily contemplations. You will be surprised if after 1 year, if you revisit whatever you have written, you will be surprised. My God, I didn't know I was that wise. Again, an arrogant statement, but you will be surprised by the growth, by the depth of inquiry that this regular assessment of yourself and penning it down brings about. Why do we do satsangs? Every satsang is delving deep into it. You are also attending for the same purpose, same reason. Okay. So, as many satsangs as possible. Now you listen to it for so many, some of you have been listening for a few years now. Start your own classes. One person also is enough. Why? Not because you want to teach. Oh, because it's an opportunity for you to remain in contemplation loudly without sleeping. Because if you do japa, immediately sleep comes. How do you remain awake? Catch someone. Hey, sit. I'll tell you something. What Bhagavad Gita will start. Start chanting, start not discussion. I don't like discussion. Not like, prefer discussion. And when you start taking a class or taking a satsang like this, or if there are like-minded people and they are not into arguments, then it is okay. Then discussion is okay. Then it will propel you deeper. See? So teaching is not taking satsang or taking a class, is for our self-reflection. If others get benefited, fantastic. We want to come back to our true nature, knowing fully well that the words cannot take us there. Yet, satsang is nothing but words for a person like me. So how, while satsang, I can stand apart? While the mouth is talking, the mind is articulating the thoughts. I stand apart and watch. Yes, at times you dive back into, you take ownership. It happens, but majority of the time you are watching the phenomena taking place. At the same time, whatever the verse is going on, you are while speaking, at times, suddenly, intuitively, spontaneously, something in your life comes up. Arey yaar, that's where I used to make the mistake. That's where I used to get carried away by the thoughts and actions. That is where in my meditation I lose the plot. While talking, all these realizations, temporary, these are all relative realizations on the path. You keep removing the obstacles in the way just by accepting them and rejecting them and not keeping it as a memory and refocusing on what the word here is being told. So here if it is telling us that word is a popular reminder of worldly things. Yes, everything in the world we know only through word, but it has no entry in the domain of knowledge. Now when this simple sounds very simple, so is there a way while talking, while listening, I can declutch myself from these words? For that, what is the basic information? That words happen in the mouth. The words are gross expressions of the thoughts. Thoughts happen in the mind. Mind is a phenomena. Am I a phenomena? When I consider myself as the mind, then I am a phenomena. Then I go through waking, dream, deep sleep. Can I stop the phenomena? No. Then how will I realize? By recognizing the phenomena as phenomena. That's it. If you recognize the phenomena as phenomena, then you are not attached to it. Then you are just as you are. Swamiji says, although the word is very well known and popular as a reminder for everyone about every worldly object, however, as far as the Atma Tattva knowledge of pure self is concerned, the word cannot enter its domain as it is of no use there. And this last week we told, Taittiriya Upanishad says it very beautifully, Yato vacho nivartante, aprapya manasa saha. Both the gross word and the subtle thought. Thought is the cause, word is the effect at the gross level. Both of them have no entry into the realm of the reality. Reality is not a realm, but just in manner of speaking. Words cannot enter there, mind cannot comprehend, imagine, work it out. It cannot. Then what are we doing? If the words cannot do it, we are thinking, using the words to think in such a manner by using the words so that these words die their own death. For a very gross person, death will be chitta vritti nirodha iti yoga. That is person who is very gross oriented. That I have to annihilate the thoughts. I have to become zero in my mind. That is one way of looking at it. The other way is in spite of the thoughts. Self is, I am, in spite of the thoughts. Mouth is saying I am, mind is thinking I am. If mind doesn't think I am, do I stop, continue to be? Now that fine tuning has to come about. For that, you do, well, no doing is going to get you there, because doing is only at the mind level. Karma is only at manasa vacha kaya. Who is supporting this manasa vacha kaya? Who is uninfluenced by manasa vacha kaya? If someone is influenced, who is that person who is influenced? Find out its nature. Find out its nature. Why do I feel I am the mind, I am the speaker, I am the seer, hearer, toucher, feeler, thinker, taster? Oh, because I think I am the mind, I am the eyes, I am the ears, I am the nose. But if I think I am the mind, which means I am identified with the mind. Scriptures are saying I is independent of the mind. I is never attached to the mind. How did this unholy union take place? Is there this union possible, or is it a figment of imagination? Is this union also a phenomena alone? See, without any biasness, without any confusion, start from wherever you are and keep writing down. Now, if what I just said in 10, 15, in last 5 minutes, if you take, that's a meditation. And you are in meditation right now, but eyes are open. Open-eyed meditation. You don't need to close eyes to meditate. Similarly, you don't need words to be the self. You are the self. The earlier we recognize this, the better for us. Otherwise, you will keep running from pillar to post, from one book to another book, from one ashram to another ashram, from one pilgrimage to another pilgrimage, from one master to another master. Why? We think that place, that book, that master, they will bestow realization on us. Forget it. They will use you and throw you away. Like you eat the mango pulp and throw the gutli away. They'll throw you away after using you with whatever they want to fulfill in their life. I'm not talking about masters, but religions do that only. So wake up. Wake up. Mind is also doing that only. It uses the self by entangling it in itself, gets more desires fulfilled, and throws it away, goes to sleep. Arey ho gaya, bahut ho gaya, thak gaya abhi main, I'm tired now. Whole day I've been using this fellow. Now I don't need him anymore. Then what do I do? Now let me use him to go to sleep. So mind makes shift from waker to sleeper. It's the mind. And you are foolishly going from one state to the other state where the mind wants to take you. But you are the unchanging one. Catch it here and now. If the word is useful in reminding one of the world of objects, why can it not be useful in reminding one about one's own essential nature? I have already answered it. आत्मया बोलान से काहीची उपयोगा न वचे स्वसंवेद्या कोणाचे ओझे आथी. The word has no use and validity in the self because the self-effulgent Atma does not depend on the obligation of the words for recognition. Why? Atma is self-knowing. Atma is self-illuminating. Atma is self-revealed. I am reading the words here in the book because the words, they may be there, but they were not cognizable for me. Then what happens? I have got glasses, they are making the words available. The light is making the words available. So some means is there. The light is a means which is illuminating the word. The glasses are the means which bring clarity to the words that are written. Is the self, is the I in its nature something that some worldly object, some sense, some thought, the mind or the intellect, some concept, some imagination, some crutch? Can you take support of something in order to illuminate the self? The master is saying here, no, you are self-illumined, you are self-knowing. So don't shortchange yourself. For that, either be available 100% with faith and reverence right now towards what the words are indicating. As far as Atma is concerned, the word has no use or validity for two reasons. One, the self, the Atman, which is self-effulgent, which is knowledge itself, does not need the word to know itself. It does not need the word itself. All knowledge through thoughts and words is only temporary. It is incomplete. Another word for incomplete knowledge is ignorance, avidya. All words, all thoughts, all experiences, in fact, the entire world of phenomena falls under the purview of avidya, incomplete knowledge. And wherever there is incompleteness, there is duality. Where there is duality, there is a thought. And thought alone expresses as the words. Understand this fall. Atma is not that. Atma is self-existing. Atma is self-knowing. And the resultant is bliss. Bliss is this creation. Bliss is this creation, is this phenomena. This phenomena doesn't appear to be of the nature of self or divine only because we have incomplete about Sat and Chit. You're searching it in the book, you're searching it outside, you're searching it in the wife, you're searching it in the child, you're searching it in the grandchild. When you come to this conclusion that I by nature is Sat and I know it without a thought, then the result is Ananda. When you come to this conclusion, I know I am, the result is Ananda. I know Chit, I am Sat. And what is Ananda? Ananda is the Shakti. Ananda is the mind. Now that mind, what is the nature of mind? Variety. But right now, we are at the mercy of the variety. We are at the mercy of COVID. We are at the mercy of the body. We are at the mercy of the pain. We are at the mercy of our relations. We are at the mercy of the objects of the world, the seasons of the world. Just like those people in Tonga are at the mercy of the tsunami that has hit them because of the volcano in Pacific. We are at the mercy of the world. But when we come, I know I am, we are abiding in that, we are self-knowing, that with that completeness, the phenomena will continue. But now that phenomena has a different flavor. It is pervaded by this knowing. Right now, the phenomena of the mind is pervaded by the unknowing, is pervaded by the corruption that I do not know the self. And therefore, the world is expressing the way it is. It's affecting us the way it is. We react to it the way we do. But when we come to this complete integration, complete synchronization, We use the words to come to this, knowing fully well that the words cannot take me there because I already am. And then thereafter, when the phenomena functions, and that phenomena, how does it function? Phenomena of the mind, waking, dream, deep sleep, samadhi, everything, then there is no incomplete person who is functioning through the waking, dream, deep sleep and samadhi. Waking, dream, deep sleep, samadhi will continue to take place, but the person is complete. And the complete person's vision, the complete self, the vision of the complete self will be completeness only. It cannot be divisions. Just like all the divisions of your physical body, eyes, head, nose, lips, hands, legs, all these are divisions. These are different parts. But you feel you are one. The mind will have many thoughts, but you will feel, your disposition is, I am one. These thoughts are also me. You don't say this hand is not me, this leg is not me, as an ignorant person. So self also, okay, everything is. Then such a person doesn't interfere in how the phenomena is unfolding itself. He doesn't interfere. The water does not interfere in how the phenomena of ocean and waves is taking place, because from water's point of view, it alone is. The sun doesn't interfere in the phenomena of day and night. Sometimes the day is long, sometimes the night is long. Sometimes they are equal. Oh, now there is complete synchronization between day and night. Wow, I have achieved it. That from sun's point of view, there is neither day nor there is night. It cannot improve anything, or it cannot reject anything. It cannot do anything with regards to day and night, because from sun's point of view, there is no day and night. Similarly, from a master's point of view, once he has come to the complete knowledge, I know I am, when he has had the Brahmatmaikya Bodh, realized the Aham Brahmasmi, then for such a person there is no phenomena. He just is. Like the mirror just is. Whatever comes in front gets reflected back. He is also like that. Whatever comes gets reflected back. If that person comes with anger, some mirror will reflect something. See? The self, the Atman, which is self-effulgent, which is knowledge itself, does not need the words to know itself. The nature of the self is Chit, is complete knowledge. Thoughts can at the most give you incomplete knowledge, that's all. At the most they can indicate in the right direction. But they can never give you complete knowledge. They have to. The value given to them has to become zero. Either you do it by force, by Nirvikalpa Samadhi, or Sahaja Bhav. Sahaja Bhav is the natural state, where The master is moving in this world but is not affected by the mind. Why? From his point of view, he alone is full stop. He can't even say everything because to accept that there is everything means again duality. And yet he uses the language, he teaches the scriptures. Brahmanishta Purusha, Brahmavid Purusha. Realized masters also teach scriptures to their students. All what is going on? Leela is going on. But we become person oriented, we become person fixated. Be I fixated, not person fixated. Yes, reverence should be there. Faith should be there that these words are necessary and they should necessarily come from a person's mouth who is established in the self. That is the best. But what if someone is not knowing the self and they are talking about the self? How many, you go to IIM and you go to IIT, how many professors are there giving lectures on this theory, this science, that science, management? They have never run a business. They have never managed people. But they are teaching. Students benefit and become CEOs of Google and Visa and so on and so forth. But the one who taught them, he is good at teaching, but he has got no experience of what it means. Same is the mind. Mind is good at learning and repeating. So whether satsang is coming from a person abiding in the truth, fantastic. If the satsang is coming from an acharya who is walking that path towards the truth and has committed his life for that purpose, a bit lower. It's coming from a person who does not know, is not walking the path, but has got an intellectual understanding of the whole thing, like the Shastris and Pandits. That's the lower. You will benefit because you are getting some positive thoughts, you are getting something, some deep understanding of a particular topic, subject. What you do with that information is up to you. What you do with the information given by the second person is also up to you. And what you do with the information given by the realized master is also up to you. In the end, the buck stops with you. You can't blame the Brahma with Brahma Varishta. You can't blame the Acharya, nor can you blame the professor. Professor knows about everything without having practiced anything. The Acharya knows about everything but is attempting to reach the goal what the scriptures are indicating. And Brahma with Brahma Varisht Purush, he is established in what he is teaching. You understand? So satsang coming from anywhere, we must not discard it. But any opportunity you get to be with masters, always we must. How will I know if the masters? That you will never know. So better have a disposition to be in faith and reverence. Anyone who's doing satsang. Be in sync so you understand the topic completely. That's the power of the words. But all that understanding, all that intellectualization, all that which has come about by way of words is only, as I was last 2 days I've been saying, it is apara vidya. It is incomplete knowledge. It is lower knowledge. Thought knowledge is lower knowledge. Self knowledge is the higher knowledge. Self knowledge does not require the help, the crutch, the support of a word. Now, take this simple sentence and sit with it for some time, quietly, without going to sleep. Keep thinking, I am that who does not. Do I need a word? Do I need a sentence? Do I need a thought to establish that I am? What does it mean that I am? If you sit with this thought for 30, 40, 50 seconds, your mind will stop. Your mind will stop. You must have noticed after every class when we do just few moments of meditation, sitting in silence, at that time 1.5 hours you have been continuously been focused, and every sentence, every verse, every thought again and again is taking you towards your true nature, indicating your true nature. And you are so full with it. What happens when you eat food and you are full? Then what do? You stop eating. Isn't it? So when we are full, because our attention was on what the words were indicating, then we will be full. So for 1.5 hours, and after that, that silence for those 1 or 2 minutes, it's so deep. It's so alive. We are so conscious at that time. There is no sleep. There is no thought. There is no disturbance. And even if sometimes the body moves here and there, it does not disturb the poise. Catch this. So if we are on our own able to stay with these type of thoughts for even 10, 15, 20 seconds, very quickly you will come to that silence. Mind will become silent. Words will go away. The self, the Atman, which is self-effulgent, which is knowledge itself, does not need the word to know itself. This is Bodh. There is one lady here, her name is Bodh. She writes B-O-D, but it is B-O-D-H. Bodh. Bodh is knowledge without a thought. It is your direct experience. Now you got a name, live up to it. That's the opportunity. Why did our teacher change our name from something to something, then Deepak Chaitanya to Swami Paramananda Saraswati? It's expansion of consciousness. But your parents gave you the name, already a wonderful one. But that name has a relationship your parents gave. Where there is parents, if the name is reminding you of the parents, it needs to be changed. That's why initiation is given. So your attachment to the name given by the parents, that is how you relate to your parents, through the name. So it was changed to Deepak Chaitanya. So who are you, Chaitanya? Consciousness. Which one? That light which is continuously, what do you call, like a lamp. Lamp is one, or lamp are many. ज्योत से ज्योत जलाते चलो. Light the lamp in everyone's heart, in everyone's mind. Wherever the lamp is, there is no darkness. But if you go away from the lamp, darkness again comes up. It can envelop. But then when you first you came to Deepak, but when the Deepak contemplates on his nature, what is my nature? It is that of light. What is light? Now he is not worried about darkness. He is not worried about what the light is illuminating. The moment darkness goes away, variety appears. He is not worried about both. He is worried about what is my nature. Then again the name of Deepak is changed to Swami Paramananda Saraswati. You are infinite light. You are the infinite bliss. There is no beginning or end. This is the reason initiation is given. So that we expand, expand and expand. Not expand as body. Not expand as mind by way of thoughts. That is foolishness. The lesser the number of thoughts in the mind, the more expanded the mind is. In silence, mind is it's expanding at a great speed. But that expansion in silence is limited by the thought with which you went into the silence. So if your thought is Ram, your mind can only expand up to Ram, Saket. If your thought of contemplation was Shiva, then mind can expand only up to Shiva. But if your silence was the initiated or result of contemplation of I am all that there is, Aham Brahmasmi. There is no limit. Because mind in essence is nothing but the pure consciousness. See, these are the thoughts that we must. Again, another contemplation here. एक के बाद एक contemplation ही आते जा रहे हैं. But that is the nature of this, of the scriptures. With every verse, with every commentary, your mind is made to be contemplative on its nature. The nature of mind is not thoughts. The nature of mind is pure consciousness. See? And that is bodh. That is self-knowledge. When mind becomes aware of it without a thought, there you are, story over. Or we should say, then the blissful story begins. Then the Leela begins. Till now it was survival. Now Leela begins. Which is knowledge itself, does not need the word to know itself. Mahatmas do not become great or small because others call them so. They are great in their own right. They never say, I am a great Mahatma. No Mahatma says, I am a great Mahatma. But people say, oh, he is a great Mahatma. What experience do you have of greatness? Only siddhis, oh, he touched me, I healed, he spoke and that happened. That is not equal to Mahatma. That is foolish people's Mahatma. See? Mahatmas do not become great or small because others call them so. So whether someone praises them or insults them, they do not deviate from who they are. There is no corruption in them. But for us, if I call you Buddhu in a class, you will accept it. But if you come to my house and I say, get out of my house, you will feel insulted. Be truthful. If I in next 5-6 classes I keep taking particular person's name and keep saying that he is a Buddhu, he is a stupid person, she is a stupid person, absolutely dull-witted, this, that, I guarantee 3-4 times that person will listen, take it in, contemplate why Swamiji is saying that. After 5th, 6th class, that person will stop coming to the satsang. Why? It affects them. It affects them because they are thinking, they are identified with the mind. Mahatmas, you give them abuse, you give them insults, or you praise them. It does not affect them because they are established in their own self and they know that they are the infinite one. All this, everything else is just a phenomena. They don't feel elated if someone praises them. They don't feel depressed if someone insults them. Therefore, in Bhagavad Gita it is told, Samadukha sume kritva labha labho jaya jayo. In all the opposites, remain equanimous. That is how the Mahatma lives. That was his disposition is. So also, Atma Tattva, which is self-conscious, self-aware, self-existing, does not need to be told by the word about itself. I have already explained this. Self-aware, self-existing, self-knowing. Self-existing, Sat. Self-knowing, Chit. Self-aware, Ananda. Where do you get maximum Ananda? In deep sleep. When there are no thoughts in the mind. Can you get more Ananda than that? Yes, don't go to sleep, but allow no thoughts in the mind. You are self-aware. Because there is nothing to associate with. Then only one is, then who is, there is nothing and you are awake. So self was aware of something. That is called drashta bhav. When the eyes and you as a person, when you are aware of all the variety in the world, it is called drashta bhava. When you are aware of your thoughts, it is called sakshi bhava. When there is nothing to be aware of, then it is called self-awareness. It is not called I am aware of nothing. That's stupid. There is nothing called nothing. Then you are self-aware. That is the expression of Ananda. So also Atma Tattva, which is self-conscious, self-aware, self-existing, does not need to be told by the word about itself. On the contrary, it is because of the Atma Tattva that the word has got meaning. A dead person cannot utter a word. A dead person, meaning, dead person means what? That equipment through which consciousness, Atma, life is expressing, such a equipment is called life. That equipment through which life is not expressing, it is called dead. So when it says here that it is because of the Atma Tattva that the word has got meaning, a person, a body, means the Panchakosha body, If there is no life expressing, can there be thoughts? No. Can there be words? No. Can there be breathing? No. Can there be activity? No. Can there be past and future? No. So, all activity by Manasa Vacha Kaya, at the level of mind, speech and body, it is only possible when life expresses. And life is an expression of consciousness. So that infinite consciousness, just like that infinite air, when it enters your nostrils, it is called breath. Well, it is not called breath when it enters your nostrils, when it is at a distance of 12 fingers from your nose, then it is called breath. A technical word for it is prana. But what is this breath? Oh, it is total air. So what is this consciousness? Oh, it is the total consciousness. Then why are you struggling to know that what is this self? What is the total self, infinite self? Accept it. So many examples are there. What is this space? It is the total space. So without consciousness, without the Atma Tattva, the pure consciousness, the thoughts cannot happen, the words cannot happen. In other words, Kriya cannot take place. Kriya, Manasa, Vacha, Kaya. Activity can come about, activity of thoughts or words or body, it can come about only when the Atma Tattva, the conscious principle is present. But sir, conscious principle is always present. Yes. Who knows that? One who has realized it. Have you realized it? Then it will not, then you don't need to say this. Till you have not realized it, you have to orient yourself that I am that conscious principle because of which the thoughts come and go, the words come and go, the activity comes and goes. Whether there is activity or no activity, I am not corrupted. I am as I am. See? La 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 la. Thus, the first reason why the word is useless in the self is because the Atma is swasamvedya, self-illumined. Example I gave you was, this light is illuminating the words on the book. Then my eyes are illuminating the words which are illuminated by that light. Then the words which are appearing in my mind as thoughts are illumined by the conscious principle. So all the words require a source of light to be illumined. But are you the one who needs another light to illumine yourself? Do you need the word to illumine yourself? Do you need a candle to illuminate the sun? Is it possible? No. Similarly, no word, no thought has the capacity, has the potential, has the audacity to illuminate the self. In fact, they are the illumined one. And whatever little bit light that you see in thoughts and words, that is the reflected light. That reflected light is the I as a thought. If you can catch it, good. The second reason is now explained. आठवे का विसरे विशो होनी अवतरे तरी वस्तु सी वस्तु दूसरे asena ki. Remembrance and forgetting is possible in the objective knowledge which is in thought form. In the pure subjective self, how can they have meaning? The word is therefore invalid in the self. Second reason now. In the pure subjective self, in the pure self, in the Atma Tattva, how can remembrance and forgetting, how can memory and delusion, forgetfulness have any meaning? Because Atma Tattva, the pure self, is self-knowing. Forgetfulness is possible where there is no continuity. Self is continuous. So there is no forgetful possible. There is no remembering possible. But where there is discontinuity, where there is a breakup, time is a continuum. But is time having its units? Second, minute, hour, day, month, year, decade, century, millennium, or whatever. It goes on. And you can say, oh, in the last century this happened. Oh, last year that happened. Oh, last season this happened. Why? Change. Your body is changing, so there is a memory. You have taken photographs when you were young, and now you have got photographs. Oh my God, no wonder people are calling me grandma. So memory as well as forgetfulness. Now this is very important if you want to be free of Alzheimer's. Alzheimer is for the mind, not for the eye. Alzheimer is not your disease. Don't make a big issue out of the forgetfulness. You don't complain of forgetting the waking and dream when you go to sleep. Then why do you complain in the waking if you forget something? It's stupidity, man. So, remembering and forgetting is only possible where there is duality, where there is incompleteness. Where there is incompleteness, there is thoughts and words. In other words, there is mind. And it is for this mind, which is a phenomena. How does this mind express? Mana, buddhi, chitta, ahankara. Mind, intellect, memory, and ego. If I don't remember the memory, what happened yesterday, what I ate yesterday, what I spoke yesterday, how I was yesterday, what experiences I had yesterday, then there's a short-term memory loss. If I can't remember what happened last year, long-term memory loss. Now you're fixated. I think I'm losing my mind, Please bless me. Then you do pujas. If you go to the pujari, he'll say, oh, memory loss. No, we'll invoke the devta. Do puja. You need this knowledge so that you remain uncorrupted by remembrance or forgetfulness of the mind. How can we turn this remembrance? Remembrance means to remember. How can you make remembrance into a positive force? Remember that you are the self. How can you make forgetfulness into a positive thing? Forget the world. Forget you are the body. Forget all your roles. But then if I forget I am the self, very good. We want you to forget that in the end. Because that thought is not required in the end. And it is a natural outcome. If you remain focused on any thought, for example, Sri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, from Vaikhari, loud chanting, when you come to mental chanting, you will start forgetting the waking world. When you move from mental chanting to and go beyond the mind, you will not have any thought in the mind. You will forget everything. If you stay there longer, more and more things will be forgotten by you. Then it will take you some time. Just like after you wake up in the morning, many times you don't know where you are, whose bed you are. If you have been traveling a long time, where I am in Delhi or in Bombay or in Bangalore or in Melbourne, like our Swamiji when he used to come to Australia, time difference also, he will wake up in the morning and he'll say, हाँ भाई मैं कहाँ हूँ? Where am I? Which city have I woken up today? See? So all remember, so you can take the benefit. The mind remembers, the mind forgets. Self does not remember or forget. And if you consider that I am becoming forgetful and I have got an elephantine memory, you are identified with mind. You are considering you are the mind. Then you are not a spiritual seeker. Your orientation is outwards. A spiritual seeker's orientation is inwards. How can he use the mind in order to land in himself as the self? So if mind is remembering or it is forgetting, it does not matter. Because forgetting and remembering are not possible in the self. Where they are possible, another way of putting it, they are possible only in the phenomena. And what is phenomena? Mind is the phenomena. How does mind function? Aham and idam. What is the memory of? Only idam. Not aham. Aham is not a memory. Aham is your true state. But because of your addiction to the idam, you start defining this pure aham as waker, dreamer, sleeper, as body, breath, mind, intellect, as father, mother, daughter, sister. Stop identifying with idam. Stop identifying with that or this. Aham, idam. Aham is one, idam is many. Gross body, subtle body, causal body. Waker, dreamer, sleeper. You are the independent one. See, one line is triggering from this mind so much contemplation. One line is triggering so much. This is meditation. Where you are distinctly, clearly seeing in the poise that you are not the mind. Whenever we talk with reference to an object that is in the area of objective knowledge, the two words, remembering and forgetting, have meaning. Whenever we talk with reference to an object. So for wife, the reference is husband. For the mother, the reference is children. For the children, the reference is mother. For the speaker, the reference is the listener. For the listener, the reference is the speaker. For the seer, the reference is the seen. For the knower, the reference is the known. For the subject, the reference is the object. For the I, the reference is for the I, the aham, the reference is idam, this. If there is no this, there is no need of I also as a thought. As a thought, which we keep repeating I, and become full of it. So what is ego? Ego is a conglomeration of referential eyes. That is ego. Dissolve it. That is crystallization of I. I can crystallize and lose its infinitude and crystallize. It loses its freedom the more references it creates for itself. A sadhak, a seeker, moves through life living in the moment without creating a memory of the reference. Try, give it a go. Do it for 1 month and see how free you will be. आज मजेदार एग्जाम्पल्स आ रहे हैं. All because of the words here, they are triggering it. Whenever we talk with reference to an object that is in the area of objective knowledge, the two words remembering and forgetting have meaning. Only with reference to something we have memory, remembrance, or we become forgetful. But as regards Atma Tattva, where there is no knower known difference, as regards Atma Tattva, where there is no knower known difference, where there is knower known difference, only in the mind. Who are you? Who is beyond the mind? Who are you? Who is pervading the mind? Who are you? The substratum of the mind, the foundation of the mind. In other words, who are you? What is water? The substratum of the totality and individual waves, of the ocean and waves. What is water? That which is pervading the oceans and the waves. And what is water? That which is unaffected by the ocean and the waves, uninfluenced by the ocean and the waves. What is water? Water is that from whose point of view, if we can use that word point of view, from its disposition, there is nothing called ocean and waves. Apply it on yourself, on the Atma Tattva now. What is Atma Tattva? Who is pervading the mind? Who is Atma Tattva? Who is untouched by the mind? Mind meaning thoughts, untouched by the thoughts. Thoughts can be of individuality or totality, untouched. What is Atma Tattva? Atma Tattva is that from its disposition, from its point of absolute standpoint, there is nothing called the mind. Again, another contemplation meditation. Sit with it. Just take these 3 standpoints. Take the example of water and wave. Understand it completely, deeply, succinctly. No doubt should be remaining as regards the true nature of water. You have to be one with water for that. And now understand, once you have understood that example completely, understand it subjectively, that I am Like the water, I am the Atma Tattva. Supporting everything, untouched by everything. But as regards Atma Tattva, where there is no knower known difference, where I is one own self, there can be neither forgetting nor remembering oneself. Forgetting and remembering is possible between Aham and Idam. Forgetting and remembering is possible between cause and effect. There also it is not possible. But yeah, Maharishi Vedvyas, he remembered all the Puranas from the previous cycle of creation. Remembered. Narad Muni, he forgot his true self, that he is a brahmachari, that he is a devotee of Lord Narayana. He forgot all this and wanted to get married to that Rupavati or whatever her name was. Forgot. We forget that we are the infinite one. And we remember that we are, my duty towards my children, my duty towards my parents, my duty towards the world, my duty towards this. It's not going to take you anywhere. Yet, if you are insisting upon it, the scriptures give you ways by way of which your frustration level increases. And when the frustration level increases with regards to relations, world, etc., whatever you are identified with, you say, yeah, choda yaar, is there any other way? The Lord gives blessings to a rich man, more riches, till he gets frustrated with the money. Till he recognizes that money is a curse. Wealth is a curse. If wealth is required only for purpose of greed, it's a curse. For Janak Maharaj, wealth was not a curse. Scriptures are a curse if it is used, if they are interacted with only to teach people, but not applied on ourselves. See? Similarly, mind is a curse if it is used only to create more and more references. With more and more references, bigger and bigger ego will be created, will be expressed. So mind has to be used intelligently. Mind is where the remembering and forgetting is going on, not in the self. So use the mind in correct manner. And how we are doing? By studying this scripture. Many people don't even know this, what we are telling here. So forgetting and remembering is in the faculty of mind. Wherever there is duality, there remembering and forgetting is possible. But in the Atma Tattva, that we are in essence, that the mind is in essence, there is no forgetting and remembering possible. Remember, this explanation is by whom? It is explanation by one who is established in the self as the self, Jnaneshwar Maharaj. This is not an intellectual exercise for him. He is speaking out of his direct experience. And everything that he is speaking is also given in the Upanishads and Panchadashi, etc., other scriptures. Same thing is given in the Adhyatma Ramayana, first chapter, Balkand. We are doing that. Similar thoughts. Where Sita ji is saying that Ramchandra ji has never done anything. He is the Akarta. He is Anadi. He is unborn. But stupid people think he is born. He says he is the Adi Purusha. I make him do everything. So she has taken full responsibility. Who is Sita? Prakriti. What is Prakriti in us? The mind. So for the people, people are interacting with Mahatmas not as self. People are interacting with Mahatmas through their mind and seeing the form of the Mahatma, the interactions of the Mahatma, the speech of the Mahatma, the disposition of the Mahatma, and they are assessing the Mahatma through their mind. But their mind is duality. Mind is duality. But when two Mahatmas meet, they don't meet at the body level. People see it that way. They don't meet at mind level. People see it that way. They meet at the Atmic level. So whether they speak or they don't speak, it does not matter to them. It does not matter to them. There's no urge to communicate. If it happens naturally, so be it. See how wonderful. In the pure subjective self, therefore, the word becomes functionless and invalid. Huh? So in the pure self, in the Atma Tattva, word is not possible. Again and again I am repeating. Why word is not possible? Because duality is not possible. In the self, duality is not possible. Oh, but they talk about duality of Ishwar and Prakriti. That come down to that level. Come down to that level. That is at relative level, because you are not ready to accept yourself as the pure self. For such stupid people, for such out of sync people, because scriptures and Mahatmas, they want to help everyone to recognize that they are free. They are at any given moment, they are free of all miseries and grief. That is the main purpose. Then if you are not ready to see yourself as the self, okay, because you are considering yourself to be the mind, okay, I'll make the mind oriented towards God, towards the Ishvara. Then do it that way. Then who is God? God is He, Ishvara is He who has the Prakriti, who has His potentiality under His control. He is not affected. So if the wave is not ready to recognize that it is water, then the wave is told, it's okay, don't worry, there is another way out. What is that? But that's the ultimate. But if you can't understand, okay, you see that you are a part of the ocean. Then take that journey. So therefore you will not find any Mahatma who is anti-totality, anti-cosmic, anti-Ishvara. Well, there are all different types. I should not say that. There are those who believe or don't believe, it does not matter. Your self is not a question of belief. Beliefs, faith is only in the mind and intellect. Whether you have faith in self or belief in self, it does not matter to the self. You are. Story over. But as a seeker, yes, as a seeker, as long as we are considering ourselves to be a limited being, conditioned being, then we need to invoke the faith and belief and trust and in the higher, So that higher can be the Lord or it can be the Paramatma. Paramatma is formless, attributeless, qualityless. So interaction with that which has by there is no thought by which the mind can interact with that formless, attributeless, birthless, deathless self. And mind is that which is used to references. So it is said, okay, give up the reference of the world and replace it with the reference to the Lord. And who is Lord? He is the world. But you don't have the eye to see it yet. So when you surrender to the Lord, when your mind becomes one with the mind of God, then you will see the world also as divine. Oh, that is possible. Okay, okay, okay. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. See, it's perfect techniques. There's no error in these techniques. The error is only in our practice, in our disposition. You jump into it without uh, thinking of the consequences. Just do it because it is right. Begin and exhaust yourself in that contemplation, in that japa. You will become available to yourself as you are. That is the assurance of the Lord. In Bhagavad Gita, here the master himself, who has practiced all this and come to abide in the self, is now giving words of wisdom for the benefit of the seeker. Now, three examples are given, which we'll take them in our next class. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Hari Om, everyone.